So, is this the first time you've seen the new Guido sign?
Absolutely not. I'm here every month for the chamber lunches.
Okay, really good.
Things are kind of thinning out a little bit, you know. But thanks for coming. Who has come?
Yes, we most appreciate you coming and joining us and for lunch. The chamber is always busy trying to improve the circumstances of business.
That's true. So let's see. You want to go ahead and start with any announcements, general updates?
I don't think we have too many updates. We're having our parade meetings for our September Fest. We're working with the VFW and we're working with some other groups to. Yes, it is. Welcome. Work with some other groups to get a bigger and better parade. So we're looking at maybe having a lot more veterans groups, some car shows. We're trying to get Edwards involved to bring out some their equipment. I doubt if we'll have a flyover for jets. That's usually not in the works, but maybe we'll have some private airplanes fly over. So that's a big undertaking, and we're starting to think about later on at Christmas and that kind of thing. We're starting to plan for that. See if the county wants us to do it, or we just, we're meeting with the lieutenant from the Highway Patrol tomorrow, right?
Yep.
To see about the route, see if we can't get a little bit of leeway from it. So that's the biggest update. We have most of our standard plans in process that we're not making much progress on, but we're always keep them up there so we can work on them. We can get some help from some of our members, that would be great. We have the event center that needs a few things yet to be complete. So there's always that. Anything else, Jack, that I missed?
Parade date. That will be September 16th, Saturday.
Have you picked a grand marshal?
We have not chosen
No.
a grand marshal yet. We have a couple ideas, but we haven't confirmed them yet. So hopefully at our next meeting or two, we'll have that
Yeah, we'll have
confirmed.
another meeting on Tuesday.
You know, you might consider the guy that's heading up the Flight Test Museum. They're pushing to get $1 million to put the the covering on the museum. So, and there's a whole bunch of people involved in that. So you might want to think about that.
Yeah, we'd be glad to, if we can get some contact numbers.
Do you guys have a theme for the Armed Forces Parade?
We do. It's down on paper. I don't have my notebook with me. I can't recall what it was, but we do have a good thing. Do you recall what the thing was, Joe?
Pushing limits.
Yes.
Pushing the limits. That's it. That's our thing this year. So, let's see.
Did you steal that from Top Gun?
I'm sorry?
Did you steal that from Top Gun?
I did. I did.
Jack.
Yeah. Tom's really upset with us.
I'm thinking.
We'll try to get him to come to the parade.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll invite him, see what he says.
Let's see, I guess the other announcements would be, last month we had our elections, only one person running. And I did make Gene officially count the ballots. And guess who won? The one person that was winning. Joe is again our treasurer. He does a fantastic job as treasurer, so he really does a good job. So we're glad to have him staying on with us. And then we had our board appointments for the board. And guess what? Gene is still president.
One more year.
I'm still vice president. We told Eric he's going to be president next year, whether he likes it or not. He has to. He's promised he'd get his stores in shape and to where he could do that. So we got the pressure on him.
Yeah, if you don't buy another one.
So
Right.
about the only other thing, just in case people are wondering, there's been a lot of discussion about the wall, Vietnam Wall, coming to Rosamond. I am on the committee. I'm gonna say I attended it. I don't have any real information I would want to offer at this point. There's some.
But it is scheduled to come.
The Barbara Gaines, Superintendent of Schools, will be our guest next month, speaker, and she's going to talk about the wall then. I believe they signed the contract for that, and but there's some logistics that are still a little unclear on the whole project. So I think Barbara we're having another meeting between now and then, committee meeting. And so hopefully a lot of the logistics will be cleared up, and she wants to talk about that as well, in addition to some other things going on in the district and stuff for the school board. So, but it was a good meeting. We had the Avery Wall people, we had a representative for Joel there, myself, and Barbara Gaines. So hopefully next month we'll have some better information for you on that project.
Yeah, hopefully it'll all be locked down and we can get busy getting the word out to East Kern.
Right. So as it stands now, there is no word that's going to go out until some logistics get solidified. And then there'll be a launch campaign after that. Let's see. I think that's about it. Why don't we do introductions? Unless you got something.
No, that's fine.
So let's start with Gretchen.
But she's got her mouth full, that's slick.
That's kind of like, how's your dinner?
I'm Gretchen Winfrey. I'm the president of the Kern Animal Historical Society. And this is our new membership year, so I'm out talking to people trying to get new members. And I do have copies of our newsletters. I think I've given them to most people, but if anybody wants one, I have some extra copies. And we had a really good meeting, which you all have missed because it just happened last week. But
I didn't miss.
yeah, no, you didn't. It was a good meeting, wasn't it?
That was very good. It
Yeah.
was really fun.
Okay.
Well, Gretchen, the Historical Society is looking for donations so they can get built.
You bet, yeah. We really need, I have material in my barn where nobody can access it, so we're looking now. The school has expressed interest in letting us have something there, but it's very much
A lot of logistics
a
involved.
lot of things involved, so.
Well, we should get together with the Edwards Museum people and work with them. Because that would
I'm
be,
willing to work with anybody.
that would be a great goal if they get that going and all those people go through town. If we had a little Historical Society museum, that a lot of people would come visit that too, so.
There's a lot of just really local history in this valley.
Gretchen, have you had any discussions with the county regarding the use of the building that used to be the search and rescue?
No,
Let's talk about that.
okay,
Good idea.
yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you,
That's what networking's all about, right there.
that's right.
Joe?
This is Joe, I'm the treasurer for the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also a representative of Carl Hardware.
Okay. Introduce ourselves back here.
Hi, my name is Addison Hutchinson, and I'm here to talk about a event that I'm hosting. Trying to. Thank you. I'm Laura Escobedo, and I'm mom.
Go ahead and talk about your event. Take a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna come up here and
Thank you.
we'll stand back unless you have any.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for having me today and allowing me this opportunity to share my platform. My name is Addison Hutchinson, and I am your 2023 Junior Miss Antelope Valley. I'm from the community of Mojave. During my reign of Junior Miss Mojave, I knew that I wanted to serve the special needs community. I have two younger siblings who are both autistic. This has changed how my family approaches the world. Before I tell you about my platform and my special event, I would like to share my background and what led me to create a special needs pageant here in the Antelope Valley. My mom was in Mojave before moving to Bakersfield for both work and resources for my special needs siblings. Mojave quickly became home because it sits between my mom's hometown of Quartz Hill and my stepdad's hometown, Bakersfield. Unfortunately, in small communities, opportunities and resources are not always easy to come by. My youngest sister has a significant amount of needs, so it was necessary to get her into programs with services in the heart of Kern County. My brother Easton is high functioning. He is still in the general education classroom, though through the advocating of his rights by my mother and our family advocate. He works twice as hard to get good grades and goes to summer school every year while his peers are enjoying a full summer off. He wasn't diagnosed until he was 5 years old. He was meeting milestones but had some noticeable sensory sensitivities to sounds as well as STEM that originally looked like sorting and organizing his favorite toys. Over the last few years, I've watched Easton struggle to be accepted. He has come home with bruises and has been beat up by his peers who mock him for being different. He has anxiety about school, but is one of the bravest boys I know, because he still goes. And he still tries to make friends, even though it might not be as easy for all of us. As easy for him, like it's easy for all of us too. He has found a few who like to play with him and that are his most favorite part about school. Easton recently made case law in a special education court case where the school tried to force him into a special education class because they simply didn't want to accommodate his needs in general education. A classroom aide is seen too expensive, so the easiest thing to do is try to move him out of their way. The federal court ruled in Easton's favor, and it was through this battle that I saw the challenges for not only the special needs community, but the exhausting fights in the challenges that their parent takes on. Excuse me, sorry. My little sister Peyton is low functioning. She was diagnosed the same time as Easton. She was 3 years old. She started to regress with her speech and eating. After she was diagnosed, she began attending the Richardson Center. She is currently attending a moderate to severe autistic classroom with 8 other students and has daily one-on-one help with her occupational therapy, speech therapy, a school nurse, special education teacher, and several pre-education? I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous.
This is good practice.
She can eat very limited soft foods, and her primary diet is Pediasure. Peyton is also not fully potty trained. At 7 years old, she still needs assistance and wears diapers. She is nonverbal and doesn't like to make eye contact, hug, or listen to sounds that are too loud for her ears. When she gets overwhelmed, she will cry, scream, hit, scratch, and grind her teeth. My mom has never heard Peyton say mommy. One thing Peyton likes to do is wear my old pageant dresses. But Peyton's favorite color is pink. Her favorite thing to do is swim in our pool. She still wears a life jacket, but she can move quickly and has even learned to swim to the middle of the pool to avoid my mom and stepdad from getting her out when it's time to go inside. She giggles knowing that she can be a stinker. As a sister to special needs siblings, I have learned that the special needs community doesn't see the world the way we do. They feel the world in a way we will never fully understand. Senses can be overloaded and cause physical pain. Even though Peyton is nonverbal, I have learned to understand her. I just have to listen without using my ears. During my reign as Junior Miss Mojave, I started a movement called Sistering Special Needs. I wasn't sure exactly how I would make a difference, but I knew that I wanted to inspire others to become educated about the special needs community. I wanted to foster a safe and inclusive environment for those with special needs. When I was crowned Junior Miss Antelope Valley, I knew it was time to pivot. My movement needed to grow with me. It needed to be bigger, reach a large number of people, but what would I do and how would I do it? The next few months, as I began traveling around the Antelope Valley, I began meeting more and more special needs children. My mom and I were talking one night about all the little girls who were mesmerized by this sparkly crown and blinged out sash. Peyton was in the kitchen and was twirling around in one of my old pageant dresses from when I was little. And my mom says, I wish P, that's what we call her, could be part of this with you. She just can't do what is required. I thought about another girl I had met the same day and she wanted to be a queen. And I thought, why not? Why can't they be queens? Why do they have to talk to celebrate their abilities and special talents? Why can't they have their own pageant? I said, Mom, I know what I want to do. I want to start a special needs pageant that celebrates special needs and doesn't highlight what is challenging to limiting for them. Of course, my mom was being the biggest supporter, so she quickly committed to help me and make it happen. We began going through all the ways we could create a positive and inclusive event that would embrace as many as we could. And with that, my platform and pageant Sistering Special Needs was born. This pageant will be taking place Saturday, July 29th at I-Leave Lancaster. I'll be supported by the 2023 Junior Misses, and they will be helping me make the day a success. At this pageant, the only area of competition isn't at all competition. It's the most beautiful portion of any pageant, formal wear. All the participants will walk on the stage with their escort to their favorite song, wearing a fancy dress or Sunday best or whatever works for their sensory issues. At this time, the participant will do a turn, wave, blow a kiss, dance, or clap. Whatever makes them happy when they're on stage in their dress. I will crown them with their very own sash and tiara. From there, everyone will take their seats and enjoy desserts like cookies, cupcakes with lemonade and iced tea, and even waters. Everyone will be a queen, everyone will have a title, and this day won't be about who has the best interviewer speech. It will simply be embracing, including, accepting, encouraging, and loving our special needs royalty. I have a wonderful response so far, and I hope to fill all 35 spots. I capped it at 35 to ensure that Mom can keep up with all the sashes she is making and that we won't violate fire code. As your Junior Miss Antelope Valley, I want to ensure that I give back to the community as well as inspire others and touch those who have never had this opportunity until now. I want to build a foundation for this event that I can keep growing and reaching more and more of the special needs community with each passing year. I do not intend to have this be a one-time event. My mom's support is really what has made this possible, but I do need community support. I have event insurance, venue expenses, decorations, desserts, sashes, tiaras, refreshments, photos and programs, as well as the other expenses to make this a beautiful and memorable event. I would ask each of you to consider giving to my Venmo or sponsoring the event as a whole. I have also established an Amazon wish list to help contribute with some of the decorations and special gifts for the participants. I can also be reached at sisteringspecialneeds@gmail.com. I want to thank you for the opportunity and the platform to speak with you, to share with you, and to inspire you. Before I end, I would like every adult in this room to know that my leadership and service started when I was just 6 years old. My years as Little Miss Mojave, Little Miss Antelope Valley, Young Miss Kern County, Junior Miss Mojave, and now Junior Miss Antelope Valley have brought me great growth, and I hope that one thing I teach adults is that leadership knows no age. I never imagined I would be starting my own event and building upon to make something bigger and bigger. I started at 6 and now at 14. I have found my calling, my platform, and a way to give back, include, accept, and educate. It is a labor of love. In closing, I have a quote I would like to share with you. You'll find it on the pens that I brought for you all today. When I read it, I think of Peyton and knew it was perfect. It reads, "Someone autistic has taught me that love needs no words." Again, thank you for having me tonight. I'm Addison Hutchinson, and it is an honor to be here and an honor to serve as the 2023 Junior Miss Antelope Valley. Thank you.
Thank you. I suspect you're Colin's replacement.
Yes, I am.
So
My
what?
name is Natalie Willis. I am from Bakersfield through Sense Consulting, and I am a community representative. So I'm representing Hydrostore and TNRE.
Now, what's TNRE?
So that's it's kind of this land organic composting thing
Okay.
that we're doing in Kern County, and we want to switch 75% of waste to organic compost.
And is that part of Hydrostore, or is that a separate
No,
company
that's a
altogether?
separate company.
Okay, I was just curious. I hadn't heard of them before. Thank you. Next, ma'am. Didn't get your name, I'm sorry. Right when you're reading, take a bite.
Shoved a fry in my face.
Yeah.
I'm Lori with the Antelope Valley Press, and I'm just here to start joining in with the community again. I hadn't even heard about your meetings until a couple days ago on Facebook. I'm like, what? They're having meetings? I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I'll be coming to the meetings.
Sounds great. Thank you for coming.
We need to put you on our email list.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Dennis?
Do you need any introduction?
My name is Dennis Schaffner. I'm retired from Edwards. I used to be the community relations chief for the base, and I'm on the Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council, and have been for at least 15 years. And I've been a Rosamond resident. And my motto has always been to do whatever I could to help make Rosamond a better place to live and work.
Thank you, Dennis.
Laura?
Good afternoon. My name is Laura Lynn Wyatt. I'm District Director for Kern County Supervisor Zach Scrivener's office. Just a couple of little updates for this group. I want to remind the board that we are working on our East Kern Chamber Summit, which will be in October. Will be held in Tehachapi. Supervisor Scrivener's office has partnered with the Tehachapi Chamber to hold this event. All the chambers in East Kern Board of Directors will be invited. It will be an opportunity to exchange information, network, break out into some workshops, and then at the end we will go across the street to one of Tehachapi's wine tasting rooms and have wine with Senator Grove. So more details with that, but I wanted to remind this board that that is still moving forward. We need to get through a couple really big summer events before we start ironing out the final details on the summit, but it is still happening. And then during the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday, Supervisor Scrivener did appoint 2 brand new members to the RMAC board, Amelia Smith and Fallon Mitchell. And so RMAC now sits at a full house. So we're really excited about that.
Give me their names so I can do their name.
Okay. All right. Joel McKay, RMAC Chairman, and just found out yesterday I got appointed to the Kern County Sheriff Advisory Council. So we're going to have a voice out here in the east on things instead of everything happening in Bakersfield and it trickling down here. Hopefully we'll have a strong voice up there and get our needs presented to the sheriff's. Go ahead. Okay. So hopefully, like I said, we have a lot of needs out here that I hope to voice our concerns up there. And then one other thing that we were working on is the cooling centers are now open. In order for them to be open, it has to reach 108 degrees. We do have cooling stations out here. I have some flyers if anybody wants one. And so if we can help spread the word that once it reaches 108 degrees, Hummel Hall will be open, and then the libraries will be open during their normal business hours for those cooling stations.
Email me a digital copy.
Okay.
Throw on the chamber side.
Perfect.
And Laura, you had forgot something?
I'm sorry, I did. I just want to update everyone. Measure K, the sales tax increase that was passed in November. I want to update this group on that. The county has now started to collect that funding as of April. The Citizens Advisory Committee is in place. They've gone through their training, their ethics. They've had their first meeting. So, you know, it's coming up on budget time. So I can't imagine a single county department that will not be there with a proposal for their department to receive some of that funding. As you know, public safety is #1 priority. Supervisor Scribner's appointee to the Citizens Advisory Committee is retired law enforcement. So we're very excited about that. So I'll try to keep this group updated as we go forward.
And then one last question, which people are seeing the pool field. maybe
Oh,
we
the
can
elephant in the room. I was
Yeah.
wondering if that was going to come up.
Well, I figured it would be, I'd shoot out if I didn't bring it up.
So as you can see, if you drive over there, they're working diligently on that. The county department heads have reassured Supervisor Scribner it will be open this summer.
Good.
We cannot go out with a date right now. And the reason they're not is because if hypothetically we gave a date and a part didn't come in, or the contractor permit didn't get filed correctly and it gets kicked back for corrections, things like that can happen with a project. And the county Parks Department is very conscientious about not saying a date and then not fulfilling that obligation. So they're being very careful at this time. Lifeguards are hired. They are going through Red Cross certification training right now. I'm happy to say, thanks to the school district, RMAC, social media, there were 30 applications for lifeguards.
Thank God.
That is incredible, incredible turnout.
How many did you take? 16?
No, they need 15 to be open 7 days a week. You know, and of course, out of that 30, there will only be certain ones that are chosen to move forward through the process. The process isn't easy. The Red Cross certification training is not an easy test to pass. So we're really hopeful with that amount of applications that we'll be able to get the 15 and be open every day.
And where's the training being done?
Different pools throughout the county, depending on where they made it convenient for the employee, the applicant. So if the applicant hypothetically lives here in Rosamond, they've been going to the city of Palmdale or up to the city of Tehachapi, things like that. So, and they were very proud that they did hire a couple of very, very local kids to go through the process. A couple of them will be walking to work. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we just need to get the word to our media so that they can put the word out.
For what?
When it's opening.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be doing a huge celebration with a ribbon cutting and everything. But like I said, I can't do it until I have a date.
Yep.
But they're working as fast as they can.
I'm going to bypass David for a minute because he's going to be our guest speaker, and then we'll do the introductions there. Al?
Al Wallace, Rosamond Community Service District.
John Joyce with the Rosamond News for the last 36 years and doing our 3,567 YouTube clip, which is up on the web, of Rosamond. And of course, our paper comes out every week on Friday, and is also online. We service people that live all over the world with email copies of Rosamond News.
Cool. So what's your viewership on YouTube? I'm just kind of curious. Do you have any numbers on that?
On the viewership of the clips,
Yeah.
every clip shows how many people have looked at it. Some as many as 180,000, some as little as 5. It's a fractured world.
Right.
and people look at only what they're interested in.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, John Williams demonstrating his CHP Cruiser is the leader so far. He has the most views worldwide of any of our clips. So that's it. But you can see how many is on there. The viewership in minutes is in the millions already, if you add them all up.
Awesome.
I'm Gene Melchers, president of the chamber.
And I'm Jack Miller, Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce. So with that, get to our meals, and I want to introduce our guest speaker today, which is David Santos, and he is the current library supervisor.
Yes.
And he's going to talk to us, tell us all the fascinating things we have at the library and what's going on.
Well, thanks for introducing me. I brought some library calendars, which are packed with all the events we'll be doing for this month of June.
Thank you.
I just grabbed a stack, so I see there won't be enough for everyone. So please share. Let's see. I recently became a supervisor, and I immediately went to working on all the activities that you see on that calendar. Lots of partnerships, lots of planning, and now lots of implementing. So before we get into all the summer details, some history on our library system. So some interesting points that most are unaware of. Our library system is comprised of 22 library branches and headquarters around the county. Our library system has been operating for over 100 years, and our Kern County Library System is a part of a consortium, and we work with 10 other library systems. So we offer a greater array of books and titles, DVDs, from not just our system, but from those 10 other systems, which also allows our patrons to access those a lot more quickly. Books are, of course, still our main business, even though we do offer thousands of programs countywide. Books and resources continue to be a major reason why people visit our library. About 65% of our business is through children and families, which includes books, the programming that you see on the calendar there, and other such resources. So, specific to Rosamond history, our branch was first established in the year 1915, and we only had 113 books available at the time. We were open every day because we were a part of a storefront at that time. During that year of 1915, we only had 49 card holders with a circulation of 210 items during that year. By 1935, Rosamond Branch was one of 25 branches in the Kern County Library System, and it was housed in the town's post office, so we moved locations. By the 1960s, we moved again to a classroom on the west side of Rosamond on school grounds, and service continued there until 1973, when the library moved to another storefront. Lots of movement. And now, for our most current location, 1995, this building is dedicated to Wanda Kirk, a local elementary school teacher of 42 years. So going to stats of our last fiscal year, June 2021 to June 2022, we had about 8,600 people visit our Rosamond Library, with about 31,000 items circulated, books, DVDs, and digital items as well. As of June 1st of this year, we have 2,900 library card holders. And during that year, we had over 18,000 items circulated. We had over 1,900 people use our public computers with a total hour usage of over 1,100. We've had over 2,600 Wi-Fi users, 25 dedicated volunteers with a combined total of 137 volunteer hours. We were asked so many questions about technology, mostly from our senior population, and we were asked about 530 questions about that. In Rosamond Library, we offered over 300 programs with 4,400 people attending those programs. And during our last year, during summer, we served over 530 meals to children. this summer we're serving more of the same meals to children. All right, so for this summer, as you can see in the calendar, we have a lot. I could not pack any more in there. Trust me, I tried. Rosamond Library's goal is to be a community hub. We work with lots of businesses, one of them being the nonprofit group of the Historical Society. I know other places charge a large amount to use spaces. For Historical Society, the first session's free, or other nonprofits as well. The first meeting is free, and we only charge $10 for every subsequent meeting. So we always try and help our local businesses. Okay, so as a community hub, Rosamond Library has partnered with various people within our community to provide a variety of fun, helpful, and informative events. We seek a holistic approach when we make our programs to ensure our community has its needs met. The library is literacy, so any programs we offer, we always offer books to go with that in case people want to learn more. For the children and teens who make up a majority of our numbers, we provide lots of fun activities, such as story time and craft, kids love crafts, art activities, fun Paint Your Pokemon event, which shows our 3D printer in use, teen club, lunch at the library, where we'll be hoping to serve more meals to children this summer, and much more. For adults, we seek to cater to them a bit more practically through finance and job-related events, along with a few artistic events to flex those creative muscles. A few days ago, we offered a resume and cover letter workshop. We offered a knitting and crocheting class next week. A cricket class was taught yesterday, very artsy and artistic. A job fair will be provided at the end of this month. And a financial empowerment class that teaches investing, home ownership details, credit, debit management, and more. And a lot of that is partnerships through various people within Rosamond. For our senior patrons, we have a program called Bridging the Digital Divide, which is an ongoing program catered to teaching and answering most tech-related questions. And finally, a Hatha Yoga class, which focuses on more slow movements and breathing, which is great for our senior audience. I personally run some of these programs, but lots of others are run by our dedicated volunteers who seek to give back to the community and provide enriching activities. For our summer reading challenge, which is the main focus of summer, we encourage people to read 10 books, read for 10 hours, or just listen to audiobook or our digital library for 10 hours. And we try and incentivize people to do this by giving them like coupons to local businesses, or just letting them choose whichever prizes we're offering, which is more books or gift cards and the like. I've gone all around town asking for donations from local businesses and other big name businesses. I noticed the local businesses care more about helping the community, but we have received support from more big name business as well. I have talked to supportive local businesses, and they mentioned how they wish that Rosamond had more community-focused events, which I was talking to Laura about earlier. The library wishes to support community, so we don't mind having to go outside the library to do that. And that's all I got. If you have any other questions, I am free to answer. I've been working on this for the past few months, so yeah, this is all I've been thinking about.
Somebody said the library just got more employees, did they?
More what?
Employees.
Rosamond Library? Yeah, we've gotten a new one. Yeah. We're preparing to open for more hours in the future.
That's what I heard.
So that's still a work in progress, but we will be getting more employees for that.
And if you could elaborate a little bit on your digital library.
Oh, yes.
And if there's any impact on the digital library, or how successful that is, and what the options with that.
Yeah, so we offer 2 digital apps called Hoopla or Libby, and we have a large increasing digital library. We encourage everyone who cannot come to the library to definitely check those out. And we have actually so many people using our apps that we have to increase our funding limit for that so we can have more people check out books. Larger array of titles, audiobooks as well. Any other questions for that?
Is there a charge for that?
No, it's all free. It's all part of our library system. So it's all
I have a question about that. I use it all the time, the digital library, but I notice sometimes that some books I can reserve because they're not available, which puzzles me because
it's digital, right?
if it's digital, why can't you have, but I see now you license so many copies.
Yes, it's like limited, kind of like it's like a physical library.
Yeah.
You can't have everyone just checking out the same book.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, I agree, but it's all licensed like you mentioned, so
Yeah.
we are limited and you'd have to wait just like with physical items.
Do they charge you extra if you have a lot of people use the book?
Oh yes, that's what I was saying earlier. We had to increase our spending limit.
Uh-huh.
So we had so many people asking for the same books or just books in general, and that we would reach our limit within the first 2 hours in a day. So we had to increase it by a lot more so we don't have to run into those issues.
Yeah, yeah.
So on the digital library, do you actually check out the book for a certain length of time?
I believe it's about a month. But I'm not
14
sure.
days, I
Oh,
think.
it's 14 days?
Yeah, I think it's 14 days. But it can be renewed, I think, unless it's changed.
It might have. I've actually not checked out Libby yet, so I can't provide you all the details for that.
Yeah.
So just for clarity, going to a digital library is just like checking a book out physically.
At least for the Libby one, I believe. I'm not sure about the Hoopla one. I think that one's more free use. Any other questions?
Is this calendar available online?
Yes, it is available in our Kern County Library website. It will say events, and then you will see all the calendars for all the libraries. And we also
And you have
offer
a separate one on there for Rosamond only?
a separate one for what?
For Rosamond only?
Yes, for Rosamond and any other one.
And there's a calendar for each branch.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know there's going to be a Tehachapi event, so you can also check out Tehachapi's calendar.
When does this calendar get updated?
Our June calendar should be coming up in a week or
July?
two.
In July?
Yeah, July calendar,
Okay,
sorry.
In a week?
Yeah, in a week or
Okay.
two. Any other questions?
And then each individual branch has their own Facebook too, in addition to the
Yes.
countywide page.
Yes,
for
each
libraries.
library branch, 22 library branches have their own Facebook page. Any other questions?
David, I don't have a question, but I surely would like some of that information about the early history, because I know where some of the buildings were, like the one back in the 30s.
Mhm.
That building still exists, but I didn't have dates that you have, so I'd like to have that information. The first part, in fact, I'd like a lot of what you just said, because it's history now.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you my little script here.
Super, super, okay.
One thing I would like to mention also is we offer lots of things online through our Kern County Library website, such as LinkedIn Learning. We offer, through our makerspace, we offer like 3D printing. And I always encourage our patrons to look into LinkedIn Learning so they can learn not just about 3D printing, but 3D modeling, so they can make their own 3D models so they can print them out themselves. We try to offer lots of opportunities for people to get creative, and we want the library to be not just about books, but to be also a fun place to be without any expectations of what you're supposed to be doing.
Are the lunches free?
The lunches are free for children, yes.
Children, okay. Is it, do a lot of children show up for these lunches?
So last year, we served over 530 children
A day?
for that whole summer.
Oh, okay.
If you want a more particular number for a day, we
No,
serve
it's
40 a day,
That's good.
usually.
I'm actually kind of surprised by that, because I always heard there was no such thing as a free lunch.
There is
Well, it's provided by
You
the
have to be
superintendents of schools, so they are funding us.
Is it in conjunction with what the school was doing, the schools were doing?
Yeah, so the school provides the lunches for us, and I know they provide lunches for other sites as well. The library is just one of those sites.
Okay. So the schools get the word out about the library providing lunches during the summer?
Yeah, it's a partnership, so they get the word out, we try and spread the word. Yeah, lots of marketing for that.
And I'll just brag a little bit about my boss, because that program, it is amazing, and it did have some challenges with funding, and Supervisor Scrivener dedicated discretionary money to make sure that that continued this summer.
Yeah, I think for more specific numbers, I was talking to the superintendent of schools. There's about 200,000 students in Kern County, and over half of them rely on those daily lunches they get from school. So over summer, how are they going to get those lunches? And that's where we try and come in and help out.
Is that still going on in the schools? Are they still getting a free lunch program, or do they have to buy their lunches again? So isn't there a free lunch?
I think Rosamond's free.
Okay.
I believe so.
That would be a Barbara Gaines question.
I think they get breakfast too,
And a treat.
and a treat. They
Any
pick the
other
breakfast
questions?
up.
Where's our treat, Dennis?
Yeah, what's up with that?
You're not gonna-
Good, big hand for David Spencer.
Thank you very much.
So we're getting some really great information out of these meetings. We hope the attendance will pick back up. I don't know if we got actually did our normal campaign this month or not.
I don't think we did.
No. So usually we go out to all the businesses, take them
Did you get
the
your flyers out?
invitation to the meeting and stuff.
When's the renewal?
Beg pardon?
When's the business renewal?
I'm glad you mentioned that. There is the renewal is by July 1st this week. I'll get out the renewal notices and
You
everything.
email them or something?
Usually we email them, but if you don't get email, do you get the email for the meeting?
Huh? Yes, I do.
Okay, so it'll come up on the meeting there. And then Gene was gonna do a 30-minute dissertation on what it's like to live in, just kidding.
Just keep going, Jack.
That was a joke.
I was laughing.
Nobody was laughing.
Okay. She's like, no, you're gonna tell it for me, I'm 30 minutes.
You said in their homes are building past me 550, so.
Anyhow,
Just like Rosamond.
Really?
550.
I appreciate everybody
Oh,
coming.
750.
From 550 to
Oh, well, you know, people with the match can have more money.
If you have a card, I can email you a
Apparently.
digital copy.
So I appreciate everybody coming
Thank you. I know,
and
I give out people.
feel free to hang around network. I know John was going to get an interview with Miss Antelope Valley there. And welcome, was it Ashley? Natalie. What was the last name? Good, Natalie Willis, thank you. Tell Colin if we miss him, if you can talk to
He's in
him.
Germany, so.
That's everybody who said breakfast was good, right? Yeah. So anyhow, thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you next month.
Italian wine.
As far as I'm